Hello everyone, welcome into my craft space. Today I took a little of inspiration from Dina Wakely, who recently showed what to do with your scraps as she picked up a bin and went whew, and I have to agree, I did throw some away. But look at this beautiful masterboard that I was able to make with some of the scraps from this RachandBella Crafts beautiful Step into Spring kit. I will put in some clips here showing you how I put this all together. I start my collage here on a piece of pink cardstock that's about a 60-pound weight. I'm also using a glue stick, not my favorite method, but it does work. I'm using all of those scraps from my cutoffs that are mostly rectangular strips, but I really like how they're coming together. Now comes my most favorite part of a collage masterboard. I like to add stencils, stamps, inks, and even decoupage some nag pin leftovers onto this wonderful masterpiece, as I like to call it in the end. You can use any liquid adhesive here that you like. You can use gel medium, matte gel medium, collage medium. I'm just using Mod Podge and I find it works really great for me. And it's a great place to have a little mixed media fun. So I'm going to use some Distress Oxide sprays and even a little spritz to give it that little bit of extra sparkle and shine. And now I'm going to show you what we're going to do with it. Our RachandBella Crafts design team prompt this time is flips and flaps and wide and tied. Those were kind of the prompts we were given to loosely figure out what we want to do. So I thought it would be fun to take these manila envelopes, and you can use one as wide or small or big or even just a coin envelope, whatever size you have. And I thought it would be great to create a little pocket that flips and tucks and does all the things. And I'm still working in this wonderful journal that is so full. I have to be done here pretty soon. So this will be, I think, one of the last pieces that I put in there. And we're going to use this masterboard to fill in some spots. So the first thing we need to do is prepare our envelope. And what I like to do is, if it has this little piece here, just take that off. You can leave it on if it doesn't bother you, but I want to cover this with some other papers, and I don't need that little bit of extra. Then I'm going to remove this prong here. Again, you could leave this for some functionality. It could close and open with these little prongs, but I prefer to put in my own. So here we go. Let's take this off. Now that our envelope is ready, you want to pay attention to this area here that has the adhesive on it. Most envelopes have this, and we'll want to cover that up because we don't want it to be sticky like this. And to create a closure here, you can use a lot of things. You could do a magnet closure, you could do Velcro dots, or you could do the lovely little policy closure like I'm going to do here. First thing we need to do though is cover this envelope with some of our beautiful leftover papers. Now that we have our envelope covered, make sure that you have your hole here. If you lost your hole while you were covering this area, just put it back wherever you think it needs to be, or right there in the center. You have a couple of choices here. I'm going to make the policy closure, and our first one is going to be up here. We're going to put this brad. I like to put an eyelet up here just because it raises it up a little bit, but you don't have to. You could also use a hole reinforcer. I'm just going to use a 3/16 eyelet. I'm going to put it right in there. And it's not going to be seen very much, so whatever color that you have is fine. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to put a brad in there. And this is just a little floral brad. And we'll press these down here, and we'll cover this up so you won't have to see that on the back. Okay, now again, a couple of choices. I was going to initially put my other brad right there, but it would be a little bit difficult to put the eyelet in there. And then also, I don't want to poke this bunny or anywhere near the bunny. So I'm just going to use it on the flap here, and we're going to poke a hole And then we'll put in our eyelet and our brad. And just to make sure, I'm gonna get it, trying to get it equally lined up here. You could measure, of course. I'm not really the measuring kind. I'm gonna use a piece of baker's twine, and I'm just going to put this behind this brad here and tie it. So again, you want your brad to be snug, but not so snug that you can't get your twine underneath it. And you can use any brad up there. It doesn't have to be a decorative or shaped one. It could just be a plain color. It could just be an office fastener, one of the gold old ones. And then I'm just going to tie a little square knot underneath of there. Pull it tight. And you can decide how long you want to leave this tail here. Sometimes I snip it off. Sometimes I put a little brad or a little charm, or not a brad, a bead or a charm, just for decoration. A lot of times though, I will snip it off just so that there's no confusion as to what string will open and close this little spot here. Okay, so got it tied. And actually, I don't mind that just hanging there, so I'm probably just going to leave it. Okay, but now that we've got our string tied to the top one, you can kind of see down where it needs to go. And so I'm going to punch a hole there. Again, I'm doing a 3/16 hole. Oops. And we could just mark it with a pen or with our finger or whatever we want to do. I want to put it like right about there. Okay, and then I have an eyelet. And this bottom one isn't going to show because this is the inside of a pocket. So there's our eyelet set. Now we'll put in a brad. This one's a little different color flower, but I don't mind that. And then I want it flattened down, but not so flat that I can't get this string around here, because that's how it's going to close, just wrap around like so. And then on the back here, I'm going to put a little piece of packaging tape, just so that way when we're using this pocket, we don't have any issues getting things in and out of there. So that will close up our little brad prongs. And then we'll get this glued down, and we'll get this glued into the book. So you can use whatever glue that you would like, adhesive, whatever it is that you prefer to use. I'm going to put a little piece of double-sided tape on the inside of the pockets here. And whenever I do double-sided tape, I like to do double-sided tape and liquid adhesive. I always say tape for today, glue for tomorrow. And that means that we are using the tape to hold it right now today. But that liquid glue is what's actually going to hold it there for longer. I don't know about you guys, but 20-something years ago when I made a bunch of scrapbooks, I used dry adhesive, double-sided tape kind of things, and it all came undone. And so I've had to go back through and add some other kind of adhesive to most of those scrapbooks that I made. So if we do double adhesive, we've got that nice hold for right now, and then again for later on in our endeavors. Okay, so, and don't worry about this. We'll put a little piece of paper or something over that just to cover that. And then, so we're gonna have a pocket in here, pocket here, and then you could do a pocket behind or pocket on the side or this side. Okay, let's go ahead and just wrap this around. I don't like to wrap it around a whole bunch, just, you know, once or twice is good for me. Okay, and I've got that gluing in there. And we'll get out our page and we'll put this right into the book. Here we go. This was the one I wanted. Yeah, I think so. So many beautiful papers and pieces in this collection. All right, that's gonna go on, I think, just right there perfectly. And I decided I was going to let it be a pocket over here on this side, because then when this flips open, it won't be hiding anything that's back there, but either way could function just as well. So this will come open and it will work like so. So let's go ahead and add some more double-sided tape, And we want to keep this side open. We could even make a little notch right there. Let's do it. So that way we know that is the spot that we're going to have as a little pocket. Notch is optional though. I know some people don't like to put those notches, and that's okay. Put a little more ink there just in case. All right. A lot of times when I put the notch though, it does help me remember where I do not want to put glue. So for a pocket, we need to glue down 3 sides. And it's all the sides except for your opening. Okay, I'll peel these and add some liquid glue. And that liquid glue over the tape also gives you a little bit of extra wiggle room to adjust things onto your page. Once you stick it there, you've got like an extra second to make sure it's in the right position, which I greatly appreciate. Okay, there we go. Push it down on all sides. You can, of course, put clips or pins or whatever you like to do. And I love that this little bunny is just peeking out. Perfect. Okay, and then now we can use our master board and some of our other little pieces and put some things in the pockets here. I love this. And of course we could put something here and over here. And that little bunny can be kind of a little peekaboo. When you open this up, you'll see the little bunny in there. Of course you could put wider things. Wide and tied is our prompt this time. So it is now tied and you can do it as wide as you want. And let's go ahead and cut this masterboard. And this piece of paper I use to make a collage is an 8.5 by 11. So just the regular US letter size. All right, clear up some of this stuff here. And bring in the trimmer. Okay, so some people say this is the sad part of using a masterboard is that you're going to cut it up, but I did take a picture of it. I've taken a video of it. You can scan them in if you want to. Do whatever it is that you like to do with your masterboards. Some people just make a book of masterboards and keep them, and I think they're beautiful. So some people frame them. Some people use them as backgrounds in other projects. Do whatever it is you've made them for. Okay, so I'm going to do, I think I did that one like 4.5. And then whatever this one is left, we'll just cut it in half, which I think is about 6.5. So we'll go to like 3.5, maybe a little less, 3.25. There we go. And we're just making some journaling cards and tags to stick in some of the pockets. Now some of the pockets are a little bit taller, so I'm going to go ahead and cut these down. This one will be like 4 and then 2. So these just make great little journaling cards. On the back it's just pink. You can ink them, you can put a tab on them, you can put string on them, you can just leave them like they are. I think they are fabulous. So this one, 3.5. I should be cutting that twice, I guess. There we go. Lots of layers to get through. But I love that collage effect that you get from doing all of the collage making there. And so that's what, 4 pieces already. And this one, I'm going to make these ones just a little bit wider so it slips into that deeper pocket there. I think I'll still do it by a little less than 3. And then we'll do this one at 2.5 and whatever's left over. So we've got a couple of great pieces here. And if you use those tag punches like this, the maximum size there is 2.5 inches. So 1.5, 2, or 2.5. And you can put your littler pieces in here if you've cut it to fit there. This one does fit, so we'll just go ahead and do that one. It can be a little bit difficult to punch because it's going through so many layers. There we go. And we'll clean up those edges because it made it kind of wonky up there. There we go, not bad. Again, you can always just put a little tab up here, put some string, do whatever you want to do. But for this, let's go to our page we just created, and it will fill in these pockets really nicely. Once it's all glued down, let's add a little bit of glue there. And you could easily round these corners so that it fits into the pockets a little better too. Let's see. There we go. So that will just slide right into there. And then we can open this and put one back here. This one's a little bit longer one. So it can fit right in there. Now what can you do with this? On the back of it, you can put a photo, you can do some journaling, whatever it is that you want to do. And let's put a little scrap of paper up there as well to hide that little piece of brad. And just make a little tear. You could easily put a ribbon or washi tape or whatever it is that you want to put here. I'm just going to let that run across. And it'll hide the brad tabs there. And give it an extra pop of color too. Okay, and now we can cut this down. And that might have been easier to do before I put it into the book, so just keep that in mind. But no worries, we can always work around. And these pages do slip out as well, so if you prefer to work on it outside of the journal, you definitely can do that too. Okay, there we go. And like I said, then these little tags can just fill right into the pocket. Perfect. And this will close up. So we've got a wide little thing that flips open. And it was an addition to our page, so we've added 1, 2 when you open it up, and 3 pockets, and just another little pop of very cute layout here and a beautiful way to use these wonderful papers. So I hope you'll give this video a big like, subscribe, and thumbs up. If you liked this book or this paper collection, there will be information in the description box as to how you can see more and how you can get your own paper collection here from RachandBella Crafts. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe and check the playlist for more videos on this journal.